wonderful, wonderful, very intriguing sessions. Hopefully I have something that relates to what's been discussed already. And then actually even go a little bit deeper into how we tackle some of those challenges been already discussed this morning. Just want to make sure that can you actually see my screen?
I can see you. Before I could see you, but now I don't see. Can you click sharing again?
Okay. There you go.
Yes.
How about now?
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. Great. So yeah, just quickly, just to introduce myself again, my name is Hwasu Kim. I lead a advanced technology team at Alteryx. So we are, in a sense, that we're customer-facing the data science team. We do have the huge number of the customers. They're very early into their the data science journey. So we work very closely with our customer as more of advisors and help them with the journey, and hoping to move their the analyst maturity one step further. So one announcement, excuse me, that I want to make is that this is like a topic change. So if you actually saw the program, you will notice that the original topic was the covering the leveraging protein, the structure, the prediction with the Alteryx. Unfortunately, my colleagues has the medical emergency, so he is not able to to present the sessions. So what we will do instead is that, because this is such an interesting the topic, I think it's worthwhile having a webinars for the the audience here. So the ones we do have a date that confirmed, we will reach out to you, make sure that you are invited to the sessions. So please look out for, for the email communications from Alteryx. In the meantime, I list out like the few the key contexts here that you can reach out to if you do want to check in with us for this future the webinars that we're planning, or any questions around this topic. Please feel free to reach out to our contacts here. So today, these sessions, I have a very simple task to accomplish. So one of those things is that at the high level, the digital transformation is one of the the big the investment area throughout all organizations. But there's so many challenges that they were all facing. So I will touch the few the areas that we commonly see as challenges, and then also it's like a way we approach in solving more of advanced like the data science the problems. Excuse me for a second. I don't know why my voice is going out here. But anyway, so we approach the data science problems with the various folks coming from different skill sets. Okay, so I would like to actually show what that experiences are like in the Alteryx environment, and I can open up for the Q&A. So as an Alteryx, our core mission is enabling everybody to deliver the breakthrough outcomes with the advanced analytics. The advanced analytics shouldn't be just for data scientists. This should be for anybody who has an intimate knowledge in data or the business, and also the data science domain itself. So that's like a core mission that we try to deliver with our platform. Again, it's not a big surprise to us that the many companies are investing heavily into like a digital transformations, right? So this is the more recent report. There was a the share from newvintage.com. What they found out is that there's like a 97% of a 94 leading companies invest heavily in big data and the AI. However, the way they typically approach is through the building out big functional data science teams. And then they just rewrite the governance, the charters. They build like a data lakes. There's another like a huge initiatives that we see from our customers, and they have a lot of this, automations. This, the strategic initiatives, hopefully to drive this digital transformations. Unfortunately, compared to the amount of investments going in to this effort, the return that we are seeing, or the customers are seeing, is far below, right? So roughly about 27 customers, they see that there are that become a data-driven companies. So what is the common pain points that we're seeing? The most common pain points that we're hearing from our customers are typically they're saying it's like the results are too slow, okay? Or it's like the long time to value. The actually, the building the advanced the analysis throughout the data science team, but actually seeing what that really means as a business value, it takes too long. So they don't really get to see the value of all this advanced the team that they're building out with a heavy investment. They don't quite see exactly the return on those investments. Okay. And then also those expensive, hard to find those skill sets, the data science teams, they're just consumed with the too low level tasks. So their expectation is that they will be applying all those advanced, the mathematics and statistics and the programming, all the advanced skills that they need to apply to solve very complex mission critical the business problems. Instead, they're spending most of their time doing the a mundane task. Hopefully, that's something that you can resonate, or some of the common the pattern that you're seeing, from what you're doing today also. So why is that getting an answer from data is so hard? Right? So one of those things is I think it's the panelist earlier that covered most of these areas, right? The data is getting more complex. There are more data coming from everywhere, and it's stored in a lot of different data sources. So it's the data is becoming that much more complex than we used to be. Okay. And then also there's an inefficient manual process and the handoffs. Again, it's the data science journey. It's not always about the data scientist just tackling the problem all by themselves. There's a lot of the stakeholders are involved, and usually having that right knowledge transfer or sharing those knowledge always been a big challenge, right? And then also there's a lack of analytic talents. This is a data scientists are really hard to find, and sometimes you do find the data scientists with the right the technical background, educational background, but may not really have the domain or experience to really produce what you're expecting to be able to do, right? And also it's again, it's a very level of the data literacy throughout the organizations. Those are the common the identified challenges that we see. So when it comes to this data complexity, would it help if you have a platform that allows you to access the data from a various data sources? Hopefully you probably agreeing with me. Just the inefficiency, like how much more productive your organization would it be if you had a single the common platform that subject matter experts and data scientists can collaborate and work together using the same platform? Right? What about the lack of analytics talents? If you can just augment or boost the data science's talent with the data analyst or subject matter experts, those are knowledge workers, by enabling them, the machine learning solutions they can use, can your team do more? So those are something that we can think about, right? And there's a data literacy issues. So how about not only just arm them with some solutions or platform that everybody can use? What happens if we actually upskill them? Right? So those are some of the things that we need to think about. Like, what impacts would that make? Would that change where you do your data science projects today? So let me just quickly just kind of show you what that actually looks like in some of the environments that we that help our customers with. Okay. So let me just quickly just give you a little orientation of what you're seeing. So we're all familiar with what you're seeing here. So way we look at this the platform is that we call this as like a blank canvas, right? So it's just like an empty canvas, and just like anything else, how you utilize these different tools and capabilities that we have to solve your problem, that will become the masterpiece of your art, or in this sense, is actually the workflow to solve your the complicated problems. And we do have a in the various way that we kind of organize our tools, but within under like a machine learning, we do have a the various approach to tackle some of our machine learning the techniques that is available. We also have like a text mining, so we can actually do unstructured data analysis and have some of the computer vision. So if you have the any kind of image analysis that you need to do, that we have the way to tackle those problems. And also a lot of data munging, cleansing, prepping, all those tasks. We have a various functionalities that's built out here that you can leverage. Okay. And then other things like is that we talk about community a lot this morning. You can actually, like a search from this interface. Then by doing so, you can actually pull all the informations, not only from this the platform itself, but also from our help documentation and also a lot of knowledge the base coming from the communities. So it's everything's integrated into one place where you can consume all that information. Okay. And then of course, if you have the left side of it is the more like the configuration panels, and then the below is the like more of the results windows where you can actually see by adding additional the palettes or tools to your canvas what kind of a results that you're seeing immediately. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look into our use case here. So what I want to do is that the specific problems that I want to talk about this morning is that this the sepsis detection, the prediction, the use case. So this is this specific data is more of like a U.S. centric. I apologize, I haven't had a chance to collect the data that's representing the Europe, but nearly like a 1.7 million the people develop sepsis in the U.S. This is something that it's very new, information to me. And of that, it's like a 270,000 people actually die from it in each year. That's like a really daunting number. So it's one of those things is that it's like early detections that requires antibiotic treatments. That's what it takes to reduce the mortality. Okay. So how many lives can we save? We can actually predict those patients in a risk stage using the data science. There's a huge value there, right? It's actually saving lives here. So the data set I pulled is a public data, from Kaggle. So the data has like about a little over 1.5 million the rows of records that covers like the vital signs, the data from their lab results, and then also demographic informations for the patients. So that's the data set that we'll be using for our analysis. So one thing that I would like to show is that, again, before we actually do any kind of advanced analytics, how confident are you with your data that you're using for your analysis? A lot of times, I mean, having the right data is the kind of like the one of the key critical the components of the producing a good models or accurate models, right? So if you have a dirty data or if you don't have the right data, then one, you may not be able to answer the problems that you need to answer, or you can actually potentially the produce a good results, but it's not that's something that you can actually put that in the productions, right? So most of the CDOs that they don't really have the confidence in their data, right? So we're just giving a really quick overview of the data qualities from this dashboard. Right? So this data set that I'm using is actually is in terrible shape. Has a lot of null values. There's a huge number of columns that I can't really use much. And then also there's a lot of outliers that in this data. So it's one of those things that gives me a really quick overview of the state of the data that is in, so that I know that if there's anything that I need to do or some of the decisions I need to make, I can do so even before I can move forward with that. And then also that I can actually do the data summary. So all the second visualizations, you typically want to see of each data that you have without really doing anything. I can quickly see the data, the profile very quickly, and then also if you want to do the like a Pearson, the correlations, the the check what kind of a relationship does the data is to have with each other, you can quickly check that, and so you can do the thorough job of doing the exploratory data analysis. Okay. So once we've done that, I'm going to actually walk you through the 4 different paths or 4 different journeys that that somebody can take on from here. One is, let's just to think of the knowledge workers or subject matter experts. They have a lot of knowledge in their data and their business processes, but they may not actually have the core the data science and machine learning skill sets, or not actually a programmer, but they have a really the deep knowledge into business. They can add a lot of the value to this analysis if they can actually know how to build the models. Okay. So that will be the path that I'll be exploring today. And then also what about those data scientists that they are seasoned data scientists? They actually have those skill sets background, but they may not really want to do a lot of coding because they don't really see themselves as a software developers. They just want to be a data scientist. So want to be able to build out against the models without really writing too much of a code. So that could be another the profile that we have in data science teams, right? And then other things like a hardcore data scientist with a strong the programming background that they want to do everything in R or Python, leverage all those the graded great the open source communities is adding to all those libraries. They want to leverage all of that. Let's explore that options as well. And then I don't know how many of our audience here that have any experience with the auto machine learning the techniques. This is the one of like the latest techniques that is getting a lot of attractions. The typically the auto approach. So sometimes it's seen as a kind of like a black box approach. So if you're a core data scientist, may not feel comfortable working with this more of like a more unknown, everything happens behind the scene type of approach. But there's a different ways that you can actually, to tackle or leverage the AutoML with still the full insight of, from your data and the models. So we'll explore those, the 4th options as well. So first things first. So the one options that we do offer within the one single platform is more like an assisted journey. Okay. Each steps that we go through, reading in the identifying which target variables that we want to predict, how we want to clean up our missing data, and what features that we want to use. All of that, most like a business analyst may not know all those steps. But what we do is that we actually walk the business analyst step by step in these phases in a very user-friendly interface, and then with some guided the explanations, what it is, what we are doing, and how you're supposed to actually read this informations, the complete baked into the platform itself. So once you go through this more like a step-by-step approach, at the end, what it does is like it actually builds out this a pipeline into your workflow automatically for you. So again, my the role here is to apply my core strength, which is the knowledge in data and my business, but not necessarily know how all the ins and outs of building the model itself. It's okay. I can apply my domain knowledge and let the platform build the model accordingly. So that's one approach that we offer through the platform. Right. So next audience is those the data scientists that they do a lot of the modeling as a part of their the job, but they don't necessarily want to do a lot of programming. For those audience, we actually do have a vast amount, like the options that we offer to that the audience to do very advanced the analytics without writing a single line of code. Okay. So it's all about just a drag and drop the specific tools. As I'm quickly just doing some imputations because we do have a dirty data, so we do need to treat them. Because I'm a data scientist, I know what I need to do. Unlike the analyst, that they may actually need to go through this a guided approach. But as a data scientist, I will know what strategies I want to use for the imputations and what kind of algorithms that I want to use to build my models. So I can easily just drag and drop any of these tools, just to need to do some configurations, and then be able to produce the results that I'm looking for. So this option is built with the open source R. So probably many of you in healthcare the industry, probably R is the more of a common the tools that you're using. So the outputs that you're seeing here is the same results that you would actually see from R. So it's just like it doesn't really require new thing to learn. You just like you're just kind of work within very familiar environment that you already know what to do, but just to do it from the GUI interface. Okay, so that's another ways that we can accelerate the model development process without really investing too much time into writing a code. Okay. So next audience, let's talk about that. This audience is again, they are the heavy the programmer, whether you're R programmers or Python programmers, it really doesn't matter. You have an option of choosing the either or both. So we actually integrated this, the Jupyter notebooks right into our platform. So again, instead of going elsewhere, you can just utilize your familiar tools right in from the platform itself. So one thing that I have to tell you, I actually cheated. I didn't write this Python code. I'm a Python programmer, but I didn't write this Python code here. The really neat way is that when I actually go through this very first process, the assisted the approach, it actually even has an option to generate Python code for you. So I can just easily generate this Python code. Now that actually gives me an opportunity to collaborate with my data scientist without me learning the Python code for the first time. So this is a great way to collaborate with the different the team members with the different skill sets right within the same platform. We don't really have to go anywhere. We're using the single platform that everybody can use. Everybody can actually they leverage their strengths and be very productive. Okay. So that's the another path. Now the AutoML, this is the we actually run this in a cloud environment because the AutoML approach is that you're actually searching for the best performing models, the leveraging the feature engineering and also all those like a hyperparameter tuning automatically in the background. So it does require a lot of compute powers. So we do offer these solutions in a cloud environment. However, once you build a model, you can actually consume the models directly from this environment so that again, the core thing is that we're offering the single platform that everybody can actually collaborate using the same the workspace here. So that's just one of the core the value propositions that we offer. So again, we're trying to leverage the everybody's strengths and their skills and bring them together in the most the easy, seamless, or constructive ways that we all can be part of that data science journey together and be productive much faster and put this workflow in a productions immediately so that in terms of seeing the value of this model in business setting, you can actually see that results very quickly. So instead of waiting for months and months and months from building the model to see that in the business practice, we can actually build this kind of the models for the very highly the sophisticated use cases very quickly and put that into our productions where we can actually put this model into the enhance of the business leaders who actually need to consume this analysis and make a data-driven decisions. So this is our missions, and this is how we deliver to our customers. Okay. So In product side of it, I mean, I'd love to have any questions you may have. But that is the end of my demo. I really appreciate having me on this. That this is amazing. The summit. More than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for the amazing presentation. We are still waiting for the questions. Please write your questions on the chat area. We wait to see if there are going to be any questions still in these several minutes. Hwasu, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So meanwhile, waiting for the questions. Yes. So it seems there are not any questions so far, but anyhow, if there will be questions, Hwasu, participants are going to reach out to you. I hope you are going to join us on this LinkedIn page as well, which I'm going to share with all participants. I have done it before. So here is the LinkedIn page. I copy it here. You can just join the group and you can see all the participants. Of course, not all of them because there are 400 participants, but we are expecting to have 200 of them here. So when you are joining this page, you can chat with participants and get the reply to your questions. So you can see the questions also on the chat area from Bagmeet, from Amgen.
Yes, so data cleansing is a very involved process before modeling can happen. It's automated. The cleansing applicable to heterogeneous the data sets. Yes, so there's two ways that we're doing it. So if you do the auto approach, AutoML approach, then we try to do the best that we can that makes sense to clean the data. Okay. So, but sometimes.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. So sometimes is that approach is the best way. It depends, right? But again, this is one of those things that what we do is like we have actually tried to handle a lot of the complex data situation, and we try to do the best jobs as we can to do that. But that capability is more coming from the the machine learning approach. The guided approach or assisted approach, we do that to certain degrees, but you may actually want to do even more sophisticated the techniques that you may want to apply depending on what kind of a data the issues that we're running into. So that's one thing really good about this platform also is showing. We have over 260 different the tools that you can use to do all the data cleansing, prepping, and blending. So you can bring out multiple data sources, whether it's coming from your local file systems to cloud source to any enterprise applications. Those are data so you can easily bring in to the platform and do any kind of a data cleansing, the prepping that you need to do. So yes, so that is another option that that you can leverage, and that's one of a core value that like all of our customers actually see.
Thanks a lot for Bagmeet already. Thank you. In case there is more explanation on the LinkedIn, you can follow up. There is one last question from Alina, who is working in Nestle. Can you please explain the ML lifecycle, any process around?
Yeah, sure. So we work with our customers on just a full like a life cycle with our customers. So it's one of those things that depending on your the analytic maturity within your organizations, some customers that may not even really need a lot of help, but some customers that starting on the early journey may need a more the hands-on the help from us. So we work with our customers very closely and try to adapt to their environment, their the challenge that they're running into. And DevOps is another thing. It's a really interesting topics. I think it's like in generally this communities that talk about DevOps too broadly. There's a lot of the details that we really need to figure out. So if your goal is to bring that model in a production environment where you can actually consume from the business applications, we have a really easy way to do that without, again, we are all about no code and low code. So even in the building out more like an HTML interface, we even have a tool that allows you to do that. So it's a very easy thing to do. So that's like a much deeper discussions, exactly what requirements do we have for the DevOps side of it.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for the explanation, Hwasu. Thank you. You can stop the camera and we go to the next presentation. Thank you so much,
Thank
Hwasu
you.
from Alteryx. Thanks a lot. So guys, just before the